Welcome to Save As Ability, a podcast to educate and inform you about disability employment issues. My name is David Darkangelo, and I'm your disability policy expert. Hey everybody, welcome back for another episode of Save As Ability. We got self-advocacy for people with disabilities as our topic today, and this is really essential to make sure that people with disabilities are being treated with respect, dignity, fairness. We just had an episode about that a few back. Really, that's the goal. I mean, going into the Americans with Disabilities Act anniversary, this is kind of like bedrock types of stuff here. We want to make sure that people with disabilities are acting as their own self-advocate. If you don't advocate for yourself, who else is going to do it, right? So for people with disabilities, self-advocacy is key and essential. And everybody can do it. Everybody can do it. Regardless of your ability or disability, everybody can do it. Now, it might be different levels with different folks. We understand that. And there may be other people that you need to bring in on that. A parent, a loved one, a spouse, whoever, whatever the case may be. But it's up to you to advocate for yourself. And so we're going to go over 3 keys here. There's many, but we're going to go over, to me, the top 3 things you need to do for self-advocacy for people with disabilities, okay? Whether you're a person with a disability or somebody who knows a person with a disability, this is what we're talking about here. So the number one thing is know your rights. We're here in America. We have the Americans with Disabilities Act that is put in place. It's federal civil rights law put in place to make sure people with disabilities don't get discriminated against. So you got to know that. You got to know that, the cornerstone of self-advocacy kind of falls on these laws, making sure that you're not getting discriminated against. Well, that falls under the ADA. There's other things too. If you're in an education environment, you need to know about IDEA, the Individuals with Disabilities in Education Act. You need to know about that. You need to know about other state and federal regulations, right? So part of that is doing your homework, doing your research, making sure that you're up to speed on your rights. So you got to know your rights. You got to know what is available to you, because some of it might not be, right? Different disabilities, we've talked about this, have different definitions. That's one of the reasons why the ADA definition is intentionally so broad, because it includes all people with disabilities, right? If you meet that definition, a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activities, being regarded as or having a record of, that 3-pronged definition that's in the ADA. If you're a person with a disability there, then the ADA covers you there from that discrimination, right? Now, we're talking about other benefit level programs, like, if you're going to get cash benefits from Social Security, that's going to be a different definition that you're going to fall under, right? So you got to know that. You got to know some of these things to be able to know what laws you're, air quotes, covered under, and what your rights are under those specific laws, okay? So that's the first thing, is know your rights, know what you're talking about. It's all public information. It's an internet search away, okay? Or go look on YouTube, look up Save As Ability. We've been covering these episodes here of all the various laws and regulations. They're there to protect you and to ensure that you're not getting discriminated against, and that you can access the programs and benefits and services that you deserve as an American. All right. So that's the first thing. Know your rights. The second thing is a little bit of an offshoot of that. And it's, once you know your rights, well, now you got to build your network. Now you got to look at the resources that are available to you. So number 2 is building your network of resources. All right. Now that might be knowing professionals or getting to know professionals, or, so it's resources that way. But it's also the collection of all of this information. How are you going to know your rights? Well, you got to go and look at these webinars that they have out there, read the flyers and the FAQs, and go to the organizations, the entities that are out there, whether it be a public organization, a governmental organization, or a private organization, or whatever the case may be. You got to build your network, because there are a ton of resources out there for you to be able to help you to advocate for yourself, and get others to be able to give you insight and to be able to give you tips on, hey, have you tried this? Have you tried that? That's one of the things we try to do here at Save Visibility is build your knowledge base and the information to empower you so that you can advocate for yourself. So that's number 2 is building your network of resources. And again, that includes professionals and colleagues and professional organizations, government agencies, programs that are put in place to be able to serve people with disabilities, okay? That's number 2. And then number 3 for self-advocacy, the key builds off of really 1 and 2. Yeah, you got to know your rights and you got to have a good network of resources, but you got to be able to communicate it. You got to be able to, at some point, gather the information and then articulate it back out. So number 3 is having quality communication. Okay, now some people are natural born communicators. Others need to work at it. That's a spectrum. Wherever you fall there, though, you got to put that effort in. Even public speakers, one of the things I do is present and teach people how to present. I work at it too. So even though I like to consider myself a natural born, that doesn't mean that you take it for granted. No, if anything, you have to work harder to develop those skills to be able to communicate effectively. Because the best advocacy you're going to be able to do is when you can articulate well for yourself. And having the resources and knowing your rights, those are bedrock things, but being able to articulate that, having strong communication to be able to emphasize your rights and to be able to express those rights and, be able to get information from your network and give information to your network. Those are all keys. Okay. So some of that's going to be written communication where you're going to need to correspond over email or filling out a form online or, asking a question in a forum, whether it be in person or online, whatever the case may be, to be able to express your thoughts in an organized way, to know what you're talking about from the resources and the rights. That is really key to self-advocacy. So again, these are just 3 things. To me, it's know your rights, build your network, and then communicate. Those 3 things are very important for self-advocacy for people with disabilities. So if you don't do it for yourself, I don't know if you can expect other people to be able to just do it for you. And if they do, are they going to do it as well? So it takes a village. I believe that, but it takes your initiative. You got to have that buy-in to be able to advocate for yourself. All right. So if you want more on this, please drop me a line, communicate. There it is. Number 3, communicate. Communicate with us, and I'll try my best for you. All right. So this episode came in by a listener, somebody who I had a conversation with last week was like, can you talk a little bit more about self-advocacy? So we've got some future episodes coming as well on it. But I hope these 3 keys are helpful to you and what we're trying to do for people with disabilities. So we're trying to improve the human condition here. One of the best ways you can do it is to express what you need, be educated on it, express yourself, advocate for yourself. You can do it. It's David D'Arcangelo, Save Visibility. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you have a great day. For more information about disability employment issues, please visit our website, disabilityemploymentsolutions.com. The Save As Ability podcast is available on Apple Podcast, Spotify, our YouTube channel at Disability Policy Expert, or wherever you stream your podcasts. Subscribe, stream, rate, and review our shows. Your ratings and reviews help our show reach new audiences. Produced by Pod Pro Entertainment. Save As Ability lives within a network of podcasts located at podproentertainment.com. #TheNewRadio. Again, my name is David D'Arcangelo, and I'm your disability policy expert. Until next time, thank you. I hope you have a great day.